No, I didn't enjoy the break, no. I don't mind the break when nobody else is playing or Scotland are playing, but when there's cup games going on, you just look on with a wee bit of envy. I know it's I'd much rather have been playing. What it has done is allowed us, two or three boys who wouldn't have been involved last weekend through injury, it's allowed us to get them back on the training pitch this week. So with that in mind, we're hoping to get Matty Kennedy's trained some of the days this week, although we've been mindful that we're not asking too much of him too soon. And as Cameron's back to the training pitch, and Robbie McCrorie's been given all clear to get back training with or without the mask on as well. So that's good news. We've had a wee bit of illness kind of about the camp this week, but other than that, in answer to your question, those players coming back, it's a real boost for us, absolutely. Because obviously we've missed a lot of key players this season. We still have Vassell and Stuart Finlay out, but to get a few back is brilliant news for us.
Do you feel as if just bit by bit you are getting back to a bigger, more rounded squad than you had?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're getting to the transfer window. You would like the ability to react to that because of the key injuries to key players. We lost two loan players, young Jack Burrows and Ollie Bainbridge. We replaced them really in terms of squad depth for the defensive side of it with Calvin Ramsey and young Tom Brown. So I think from that point of view, it's been like for like really effectively, because we needed defensive cover. It was clear as day. We were taking too many chances with that, not to kind of act on that. And I think that it's just the ability to try and make the difference in January is so tough. I think you see the strength of certain clubs like Hibs and Hearts and Aberdeen, who have got the ability to go and get and do a bit more business than most clubs. And we were close to getting one or two things, but unfortunately for us, we never managed to get anything that we felt was going to make a significant difference. So it was quite a quiet window. I know everybody would, supporters, managers, were all looking for to make those additions, but I actually felt, and I said that at the start of the window, that if I could just get my players back, it'll feel like we've had a good window in getting some players back into it. And I think when you see for a club like us to finish fourth last year and get into Europe, there's factors that you need to play well, but you also need a healthy squad. Because I think for any season, Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, with the finances they've got, they should be the top six along with Old Firm. So there's 5 spaces for your top 6. They should be, unless these clubs aren't doing their work right, it should be that. And everybody else is jostling and fighting for normally that last spot. We were that team last season that finished 4th, and I do think we get the benefit of a really settled and healthy squad. I think we recruited well, we got a good thing going, and I think this season we've kind of suffered a wee bit because of that. I think obviously European involvement at the start, but you always thought, I said myself, we can always catch up. The injuries haven't helped matters, but we're still playing catch up, and that's where we're at the minute. We're playing catch up. Dundee United are the team this season who were where we were last year, and look as if they're pretty nailed on to get a top 6 spot because they've done brilliant last season. But we've not gave it up, and we still feel that we can make the ground up that we felt that we were always working from behind it a wee bit with the start, with European involvement. With injuries and discipline part of it, we made things more difficult for ourselves. But we still feel there's enough wins in us to get a top 6, and that's what we're working towards. The motivation's high for us to try and be that. I think we're only 3 points off our 6th place at the minute, but equally there's about another 4 or 5 teams that are saying something similar. So we are in the mix with so many other teams, but we're only trying to focus on ourselves and try and deal with our own business at this stage of the season. And we feel as a squad that there's enough wins in us to try and get that top 6 spot.
United game example.
Yeah.
Flying high, but you've shown on your day you can
yeah.
do it. Despite the break, you'll be hoping that does continue on. That sort of feel good.
Yeah, but we weren't great against United. But to win games in the Premier League, especially against a team who's going as well as Dundee United, you need to do a lot of things right. And we did a lot of things right to get a clean sheet. The effort was there, the organisation, the motivation of the team was high. We'd like to have created more opportunities and try to have more control in the game. But winning games at Premier League level isn't easy, and especially when there's very little between a lot of the teams. But it was a great win for us in the context of it. we now follow that up with another home game, albeit within having a free weekend. And it's important to try and get another, but if you can get back-to-back wins at this stage of the season, it's clear how important that is.
Against the bottom team at home, they're the games you need to win if you do want to get top six. I think that's kind of, you need to tick these ones off almost.
I'm always reluctant to say the word need because it always feels a bit desperate, but you know, it's clear that there's certain games that are a bit more challenging than others, and with 8 games to go before the split, you know, we feel we need probably looking at to try and get at least four wins to give ourselves a chance. 5 would give us a great chance. So when you look at the games, 4 rows at home, it's important we try and take any advantage going. Being at home, hopefully, as I say, we can have a good crowd turn out. Everybody will see the importance. I think St Johnstone have seen the importance of the situation they were in over the last few weeks, and they've managed to respond, and the manager and the players have managed to dig out some results. For our point of view, we just want to see it as a real opportunity for our club to come together, big Kilmarnock support, and hopefully, as I say, everybody playing their part to get a very important win for us. And we're going to have to work hard for it. There's no doubt about it. We're up against a team. Sometimes you come up against teams who are searching for confidence or whatever. They've obviously picked up in the last wee while, so we've got that part to overcome as well. But if we can focus on ourselves, take comfort in the fact that I think we will get stronger between now and the end of the season with the players available to us, but try and just knuckle down and get on with the job in hand and get all 3 points at the weekend.
These 8 games, when it gets to the nitty-gritty, you need to use all your experience as well as a manager. Do you enjoy this sort of period where it is so cutthroat and everyone's looking at each other's results and it's so tight? This brings out the best in you personally?
I enjoyed last season better because we were always looked as if we were nailed on for top 6 for a long time, but and to do it with a few games to spare was brilliant. But you know, I think you've got to accept when you take the job that sometimes tough things are going to be tougher than others, and that is part of the course. And for us, we just need to just really focus on performance and have the confidence and belief. But the motivation's high. It's always been there with the players to try and follow up from last season. And I think if we can bearing in mind what I've just said about the advantages of others, you know, you'd expect Hibs and Hearts and your Aberdeens to be there. Bearing in mind how difficult it is for clubs like ourselves to get into the top 6. I mean, we don't get a trophy for it, but I do feel as though at the start of a campaign, if you can try and be that team, have that objective, then it will suggest that good work's been done again despite the challenges this year.
You speak about St Johnstone, obviously they've had the right uptake in form. How big of a challenge do you think they will pose you at the weekend coming here?
Yeah, I think they've obviously committed to a style under the manager. I think I like to see teams knowing what they are, and I think the manager's come in, assessed the squad. He's tried to implement a way of playing, and credit to them for that. Obviously, they've been probably as busy as any team in the January window, trying to get his own players in and try to help kind of fulfil that kind of system. So, you know, I think that they've got good attacking players. I think St Johnstone recruited well, particularly at the top end of the pitch in the summer. And he's brought his own players in to try and play the system. So, you know, I feel as though that they're a team who in recent weeks haven't shipped as many goals, and they've always carried that threat. Even throughout the season when they were losing a lot of goals, they still had that threat at the top end of the pitch. So it's important that we recognise what they're trying to do and where they can maybe cause us problems, but equally we've got to make sure that it's uncomfortable for them. I think they'll expect a tough game, and it's our job to give them exactly that.
We're about to speak to Bobby Wales. How impressed have you been with his contribution so far this season?
Yeah, he's done great. He's a real positive for us this season, one of the many positives. But I think for Bobby, he was always a player. When I first came in, everybody was talking about him in the youth, and obviously seen it firsthand over the last couple of years. He got a really good loan. They looked after him last season at Alloa, and we felt he'd get the benefit of that. It was always our intention. We see him as one that we'd love to work with going forward, and I think at the start of the season he played a part in and out of the team. I think leading the line at an early age in the Premier League is difficult, but I think in recent weeks he's shown an ability to do that. So obviously strikers are judged on goals, but he's got more than that. I mean, he's got a couple of goals recently, but he's so fluid in how he moves. He falls between a 9 and a 10, and he's got a lot going for him, Bobby. You know, we're really enjoying working with him. we think there's a lot more to come, and we want to keep working with him as long as we can.
Has there been any updates regarding his contract situation?
Not any updates other than the fact that we've been trying for months now to try and get a solution, to be honest. We've made it clear to Bobby, his representatives, we really want to work with him. We feel that he's being a Kilmarnock number 9 in the Premier League, he can get so many benefits from that. Gaining the experience, I think the players who have that and are patient with that and do the business, then in time good things happen for them, and we just want Bobby to continue doing that for us in the Kilmarnock strip.
In terms of that illness that's been kicking around, anyone else ins or outs for?
No, just the 2 boys I mentioned definitely out are Vassell and Finlay. I don't think any of the fitness, the illness will keep boys being unavailable. It might affect, it's obviously affected some of them with their training this week, we'll see how they are, but and Matty Kennedy and Ennis Cameron and McCrorie, as long as they come through the next couple of days training without any, they could be added to the squad.
Good man.
All right, cheers, thank you.